creepy smile, so I hope...
Hi, I'm Carolyn Miller, and this is my speech, The 5%. This is Lynn Miller. He is a 74-year-old man who has just finished battling his second round of cancer. He has struggled with being obese and with being overweight his entire adult life and has been smoking since he was a teen. He's also my grandfather, and as far as I know, he has always had the financial means to either change or to seek help to change his life. However, there are many in Abilene who feel that they do not have the financial means to change their life. In 2012, the U.S. Census Bureau recorded that there are about 118,000 people in Abilene, and of those 118,000, 18.8% are below the poverty line. That's about 22,000 people. These people feel trapped and feel like they can't do anything to get out of their situation. As a student of nutrition here at ACU, I have a passion for helping these kinds of people. This group of people is often overlooked, and if we continue to ignore this issue, then there are devastating consequences. While the barriers may seem insurmountable, I do believe there is a solution. So first, I want to tell you why this issue is significant to Abilene. Many programs that are focusing on fighting obesity and providing proper nutrition are targeted towards children, such as the WIC program, which provides help to young mothers with children under 5. WIC gives basic nutrition counseling and provides free food vouchers for certain types of foods, very specific brands, and is very nutritious. But once these kids outgrow the WIC guidelines, they are left with no help and with no follow-up. There are also other programs like Head Start and the Backpack program that work with Abilene schools to provide proper nutrition. There are even a lot of nutrition initiatives to get better nutritional and physical education into schools. But unless kids' behavior is reinforced by their parents' habits, their lives will not change. Because children have been shown to follow their parents' footsteps in many, many different situations throughout time. And so by helping the parents, we are ensuring Abilene with a healthier and more financially secure future. But if we do not take action now, then there are devastating consequences. Already, heart disease is the #1 killer in Texas, according to the Texas Department of State Health Services. Heart attacks and strokes are obesity is a precursor to heart attacks and strokes, along with hypertension and high cholesterol. Heart attacks and strokes are caused by a blockage in the artery, which prevents blood flow to the heart or to the brain. Diets that are high in saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium tend to be more prevalent in people who are obese and leading them to have a higher rate of heart risk. In 2012, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention recorded that about 66% of adults in Texas are overweight and 28% of adults in Texas are obese. Many of these are low income, and it's no wonder that there is a correlation because the cheap food, the processed food, consists of a lot of trans fat and saturated fat and is very widely available to those of low income. In addition, according to Beth Ann Oldridge, a dietitian here in Abilene, the Southern culture is really ingrained with a certain type of cooking that involves a lot of fat and oil and lard. So it is no wonder that there is a correlation because this cheap processed food is very accessible and it goes a long way and is very satisfying immediately, but it does have long-term consequences. In my interview with Dr. Smallwood here at ACU, she said that low-income families have the highest percentage of people in the obese category because of many of these issues. Obesity will cause them to have low energies, which prevents them from doing things that they want to do, such as playing with their kids, playing with their grandkids, maybe walking the dog. It prevents them from doing things that they have to do, like maybe changing a tire on their car or fixing the kitchen faucet. Not only that, but it also will cause them to have a lack of motivation, which can really hurt their work performance. If they are already in a financial crisis, this will further entrench them into their financial troubles. As Jamie Oliver says in his TED Talk, Teach Every Child About Food, these people are literally eating themselves to death by the junk that they are putting into their bodies. Obesity also often has many side effects that are very harmful and very painful to live with. once they go to the doctors will prescribe them with medicine that is very expensive. And these low-income families often will not have health insurance, or if they do, it won't cover these medications. So if these people can't come up with the money themselves, they're forced to live in a continual deteriorating physical state. I calculated the cost of a very minimal funeral cost here in Abilene at the Gardner Funeral Home, and it came out to be about $5,439. This is, like I said, just the very extreme basics. And as you can see here in this picture, that is an extra large casket that is built for people who are morbidly obese. And these caskets are exponentially more than the caskets you can see here, $495, and the outside is also a lot of money. So these caskets are extremely expensive. So no matter how you look at it, obesity is costing people money, whether it is changing life or burying one. So obviously the biggest issue to overcoming obesity in low-income families is money. Many of these people they live off of this processed food that is very cheap, and fast food is also very cheap. They're also living under the assumption that healthy living is too expensive. Healthy living is too expensive, and certain organic foods are very expensive. However, this is a false assumption, and though it can be hard to live a healthy lifestyle in a limited budget, it is not impossible. They just need a little help. So this is where we can step in. These people need something that is affordable, convenient, and has a support system. I propose that we create an organization that runs off of the work of trained professionals. And as far as monetary aid goes, we would work on a donation system like a nonprofit organization, and we would also provide financial assistance and certain scholarships to those who are in desperate need. With the nutrition counseling, there would be certain things that we need to do, such as taking these people to grocery stores like Walmart or United and showing them how to shop, and not just telling them what they need to get, but showing them which brands to get, because you don't always need to get the name brands to get the health. Not only that, but we would create a couponing system that is very easy to understand, because a lot of those dates and expiration dates can be very confusing. So couponing and knowing when to buy their foods at the right time, because buying things out of season is very expensive. So very practical things like that. And then finally we would have cooking labs to show them how to cook things in a maybe healthier way, and how to maybe cook a lot of their favorite cultural dishes in a healthier way with less fat and oil. Finally, the physical fitness, a lot of people think that they have to have a gym membership to really get fit. But in reality, getting fit doesn't cost you a dime. You can start walking around the neighborhood or walking dogs. And this organization would have a physical fitness program to teach them how to work out in their homes that only requires maybe body weight or maybe something like a chair, something that Jack LaLanne would propose. So after this organization has taught these low-income parents how to live healthy, they would be able to finally exemplify behavior to their children, which would ultimately change Abilene's future. Like I said, this group is often ignored when it comes to charitable aid, but they are in desperate need for help. But I believe that if Abilene unites to form a better vision for the future, then we can really change this population that's in poverty. And even if we just change 5%, that's over 1,000 people. And I believe that 5% is worth it.